Okay, so I'm being a partner, and I'm going through and seeing what they need, and they're missing a lot of capitals. When I woke up, I was in bed. I had a cast on my arm, and my mom was there. Pedro, she said, how do you feel? I looked down at my arm. There's another one. I grinned. Great, I said. Mom looked surprised. Really? Your arm doesn't hurt? Well, yeah, I said, sure it hurts, but I always wanted a cast. This is awesome. The door to the room opened. In walked Alex and his dad. Alex looked really upset. He came over to my bed. Pedro, he started, I'm really, really sorry. I shouldn't have made you do the monkey bars. I just smiled. It's okay, Alex. Anyway, you helped me have the best day ever. Oops, I realize he's forgetting 2 of those. He only did 1 there. The best day ever, he asked, confused. Yep, I said. Now, can you stop being sad? I want you to sign my cast. Now, let's look at this whole story. What do you think that Pedro needs to work on? What does he need to work on the most? What do you think, Emsley? Yes, capitalizing. But before I tell that to Pedro and say, you're really bad at capitalizing, I'm going to tell him a compliment. Do you know what a compliment is? A compliment is something nice. And I really like how he turned a broken arm into the best day ever. Because I read the title, Best Day Ever, and I thought, and as I'm reading it, I'm thinking, how can a broken arm be the best day ever? But he was excited to get a cast. So I want to say that. And I really liked the way he used his emotions. I really liked how he showed me what he did and what people said instead of just saying I was sad or I was happy. So that's my compliment to Pedro. I really liked how he did that. So let's look at the rubric now that I am his partner. So your partner is going to read your story, and you're going to read it together, and they're going to make changes while you're reading it together, and then you're going to read your story to your partner. You're going to take turns, and then I'm going to go fill out the rubric for my friends, and your friend's going to go fill out the one for you. So you're just going to do this part first. I did Pedro's, that I would give him my story, and we would do my story, okay, with all the changes. Then we would come get a rubric with all our sticky notes, and I'm going to fill out the rubric for Pedro. And Pedro's going to fill out the rubric for my story. And so I'm going to think here, does the story have a beginning, middle, and end? Yes, it does. At the beginning, he was on the monkey bars. In the middle, he was at the hospital. At the end, he's telling Alex how happy he has to have a cast. So all 3 parts. Does the writer tell me what the characters do? I think so. This thing's 3 pages long, and it's telling me everything they did. So I think he has lots of details. Does the character tell me what characters say? Or the writer tell me? Yes, there's lots of telling me what people say here. So, yep, 2 or more times. Does the writer show how the character feels? Yep, 2 or more times. The first word in each sentence, I and names capitalize. Now, probably I would say sometimes, right? Because he got about half of them, or maybe even more. So I say sometimes. Did he get his punctuation? Almost always. And are the words spelled correctly? Almost always. So now, when I fill this out, Pedro's going to take this, and he's going to go and say, okay, he said I did everything right. Miss Doty, my friend April told me she did everything right except 1 that I need to work on. Oh my goodness, look at all of these. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to use my eraser. I'm going to turn all these words into capitals. Right? I can't erase this because it's an ink, but you would erase it and put a capital everywhere you needed a capital. Okay, everywhere there needed to be a capital, I'd go back. And she said, I think that I'm right. April said I need to get rid of butts, so I'll do that. Okay, and I, W, T, and I get rid of all these sticky notes. Remember, I cut them in half so I don't use so many. Because then they're smaller too. They're not taking up the whole page. So I would erase. I wouldn't just be writing these over, but I can erase. And then this one, I just forgot the extra right there. So I've changed them, and I got my rubric and my story, and now I can go see Miss Doty whenever she's ready, right? If Miss Doty is not ready, she's working with another student, then I'm going to go work on another story, right? until Miss Doty's ready. So I remember last time I had like 12 people's names down. And I wrote them down as they did with their partner. And then I just crossed them off and went down the line. That's what I'll do again. Okay, so right now, I want you to get out your story. If you're done writing your story, read over it and check for all these things to make sure you have them all. If you have them all, then come to me and tell me you're ready for a partner. My friends at home, you're going to read it and you're going to use your rubric you have at home. And you're going to go through and see if there's anything you need to change and put your own sticky notes for yourself. Or you could have a brother or sister read it and tell you what they think. And then you can bring that with me when we do our meeting.